My name is Deedra Aynaz Özkaşıkçı. My last name is horrific, so just stick with Aynaz is how most people know me. In America, they know me as Deedra. I grew up as Deedra. I was born as an Aynaz, and then I became a Deedra, and then I became an Aynaz again. So it's like I used to have split personalities, split names. Like when I go
Yes.
home, everybody's like,
Right.
"Hey, Dee, what's up?" And I was like,
Right.
"Hey."
Right.
And most people who are Turkish that hang out with me are like, "Who's Dee?" They're like, "That's me,
Yeah.
actually."
Yeah.
you know. I do make some mistakes in both.
Okay. Okay. But I
but,
can't hear them.
I'm a Southern girl, so, we
Yeah.
have the same twang. So I know
Yeah.
I sound like hometown for you. So,
Yes. Yes. You do. You do. You do.
And my family being from Texas, growing up in Florida, yeah, I don't have any accent at all. Yeah. In
Okay.
Turkish, the Turkish accent in English or whatever. In Turkish, I really don't have I don't have an American accent at all. But what happens in Turkish sometimes is like I'll say something, but it'll be like a really hard word.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. Yeah.
like these ones are like 25 letters.
Right. Right.
And
Right.
I'll get kind of screwed up somewhere and it'll give it away. But it's rare. It does happen though. Sometimes it happens sometimes in really funny situations. But
Okay. Right.
everyone's kind of gotten used to it.
Right.
And I'll switch back and forth a lot.
Yes.
So like I'll be speaking Turkish and all of a sudden I'll say one English word and then keep talking in Turkish, which kind of freaks a lot of people out because they
Yes.
think, number one, that I'm like trying to play them, or number two, I think they don't speak English and so I'm trying to like up them. So it's a cultural thing. I mean, I think being like half and half is kind of weird to begin with because you don't really have an identity to either, like a full identity. Like I don't belong fully to Turkey and I don't belong fully to America, but when I'm in America, I feel really Turkish. And when I'm in Turkey, I feel very American. So it's kind of like a weird mix. It's not that easy to be a multicultural bridge, I call myself.
Yeah.
But I try my best.
Well,
I got a lot of people too, by the way. But,
Right. But that's kind of curious. I'm kind of curious about that, like not feeling like you belong. Is that attributed to anything specific when you say you don't feel like you belong to either, I guess, culture?
I just think that, because I grew up in the States, so my mindset is very different. Like, I don't think certain things are a big deal.
Yes.
Or I don't think that certain things are things you shouldn't say. I don't know. Like,
Right.
in America, you say what you think and people take it or they don't. Nobody judges you. And if they do judge you, it's because they think usually against what you're thinking. I have a cookbook. It's called Love at First Bite, The Art of the Feast. In Turkish, it's İlk Isırıkta Aşk, Ziyafetin Sanatı. And it's a book about basically making moments that are memorable and enjoying life to its fullest. And it's also kind of a play on words because it's kind of a sexy name for Turkey. Remember I was talking about
Yeah.
can't underwear.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
First Bite is kind of like a little bit sexy wording, and that's why I said some people get freaked out by me because my point in this book was he actually everywhere in the world, a woman chef or a woman cooking is, or writing a cookbook, until I guess the Food Network blew up with all these beautiful cooking women.
Yes.
They were always kind of, chubby and like mama-ish and wearing an apron and all this.
Paula Deen.
My book is kind of more of a ultra feminine and very fashionable, sexy woman in the kitchen. So it's a kind of like a high fashion-y book. So there's a lot of really beautiful tables. There's 10 beautiful occasions. They're all mixed, different recipes from throughout the world that I've brought together that I use all the time. that I've used that have been passed on to me. All the recipes have a story. All of the events have a story. They have their own music. You can click on to Spotify. So it's an interactive book. It's actually the first interactive cookbook in the world.
Wow.
It also shows you how to make the cocktails. So you just click on a QR code in the book, and a video pops up on your device, whichever one you're using, that shows you how to make a margarita. Because I mean, we know how to make margaritas because we drink them. Well, I'm from Texas, so that's kind of like water for us. But very similar to water. But here, you know, the concept of cocktails really is a new thing. And in the big cities, there's some really good cocktail makers and barmen that are exquisite. And they take it on as an art, and they infuse all kinds of stuff, and they make smoke and do all this stuff, but it's kind of like a show thing. So most people in their homes don't really drink drinks like we do. I mean, you know, when you go to somebody's house, you're not like, yeah, I'll have a vodka cranberry, and what are you having? A Cosmopolitan? Oh, okay, I got a picture of margaritas. Like, this is not how it goes down here. In Turkey, you'll either have wine or you'll have rakı, which rakı is kind of the traditional Turkish drink, actually. This is what all Turkish people drink. Or maybe you'll have beer. Those are kind of like the standard three things that if you're drinking alcohol in the house, that they'll drink. And what's really strange to me is, I mean, in America, like, you invite people over for a barbecue, we're drinking beer, or we're having cocktails, we're having something, you know, or if we go to the beach, we're drinking. I mean, we drink a lot. Americans drink a lot. I mean,
yes, we do.
Just kind of it's our culture, and it's part of it's just the way we are, you know. Here, it's a new thing. So most people don't have a whole lot of ideas about how cocktails should be made. And like a margarita, even though it's very simple for us, is something difficult for them, because you have to realize limes are kind of a new thing here. Limes are not part of the Turkish cuisine. And so limes are now available here. But 20 years ago when I came here, there were no limes. There were no jalapenos.
I did not know that.
There was no cilantro. How could I make salsa? So I had to grow it all.
Yeah, it's very tough to find well, I'll say this. I have not found a good Mexican restaurant here yet.
You just come to my house.
I will. I think I tried this place called Ranchero, and really right.
There's one that's okay. I'll send you its link and you can check it out. I haven't been yet. I've heard good things about it, but it's like, until I try it, I don't know. There was another one that I tried. It was one of my friends. They kind of opened up like a taco stand.
Yes.
And I was really excited because they were like all making the guacamole and everything. And I was like, oh my God, like it might be good.
Right.
And I went, it was okay. But they used pre-made salsa. And I'm like, okay, here's the thing. When you have a taco stand, you don't use canned anything.
That is right. That is absolutely right. That is absolutely right.
You know, and I share a lot of recipes for people, because it's like, salsa is not hard to make. Come on, people.
Right.
Like, just basically dump it in a blender and just it's done, you know? And they have all this stuff now. And the same thing with guacamole. 20 years ago, you couldn't find avocados. And now they actually produce them in Turkey, and they have a huge avocado industry now where they're actually exporting to Europe. So, but they're not the avocados we use. Those are kind of harder to find.
Right. The Haas avocados are very difficult. I haven't found those here. But what I will say, the Bazaar, they do sell the small baby avocados, which I had never seen before. So the seedless baby
those are
avocados.
Weird, right? What is
yes,
that?
they are. They are.
I'm not sure I like them though. I couldn't figure out, like, do we spoon them out? Like, how do I get it out?
Right.
Did you go through this? I don't know.
Well, no, I just slice them in half. They're almost like the size of a small cucumber.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But you got to get the out.
Yes, you have to get the avocado. Yeah, the meat out. Yeah. But so it just kind of peels off. It was fairly easy.
Yeah, but I'm gonna go traditional on the avocados.
Absolutely, and so the Haas avocados, right? The fat Haas avocados from Mexico are probably the best.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. So what made you what made you decide to write the book? I mean, I know it seems very, as you said, sleek and sexy.
Yeah.
Did you think that you were going to have a market here for that? Like, what made you do it?
Well, because I'd been living here for 20 years, and like I said, every time I go back to the States, I'd come back with like literally way too much luggage. I don't want to. The luggage would be filled with a lot of different things, and everybody's thinking I've been shopping like crazy, buying my beauty stuff or my clothes or whatever, when in fact most of it was stuff for the kitchen and toys for my kids.
Yes.
But I literally would have one suitcase full of stuff that I cooked with, whether it be ingredients or different, like who brings a slow cooker back? I do.
Yeah.
I have a slow cooker.